The Texans will be hiring Nick Caserio to be their general manager. No, this is not a lost episode from June of 2019 when the Texans tried to hire Nick Caserio and had the door slammed in their face by the Patriots. They are finally getting him almost 2 years later. And when they didn't hire him, see, here's how it went. They wanted him June of 2019. This was Jack Easterby's white whale. And they tried to get him. And the Patriots blocked it. And the Patriots accused Easterby of tampering because there was supposedly a conversation between Easterby and Caserio at the ring ceremony because Easterby had been a Patriots employee. So that all stopped. The Texans backed off. And then we thought, well, once the 2019 season ends, that's when they're going to go hire Nick Caserio. And then they didn't. They made Bill O'Brien the general manager. Then they fire Bill O'Brien and the 2020 season ends, and now they have Caserio as the GM. Along the way, they've paid Korn Ferry somewhere between $100,000 and $1 million to be the search firm on this, Chris, and Caserio wasn't one of their finalists. You can't make this stuff up. They paid Korn Ferry somewhere between $100,000 and $1 million to find the candidates for the job. Korn Ferry identified 5 finalists, and Nick Caserio wasn't one of them, and they've hired Nick Caserio. Advantage Easterby.
Definitely. I mean, yes, all that other stuff, Korn Ferry, a few $100,000 is just to, appease the NFL, the media, the fan base, whatever, just to make it look like it. But, the way that goes down, and especially the fact that you're right. I mean, he's not on the list of 5 people. That just tells you that this was the plan all along, and that Easterby and everybody, Cal McNair, everybody involved, that knew that this was going this way, but they wanted to put their best foot forward and act like, okay, hey, we're doing this. So, I mean, I'm not mad at them. I don't understand why you don't just add Nick Caserio into the list of names that you were interviewing anyways to make it look a little bit more inconspicuous, I guess, to say there. But either way, I'll say this much. I have great respect for Nick Caserio. I think this is a great hire by the Houston Texans football team. The things you worried about with Jack Easterby and all that, what does he know about football and all that? Well, great. He doesn't need to know anything anymore because Nick Caserio knows it all. Nick Caserio is going to be great to get an organization who doesn't seem to have a clear plan right now about where their team or roster is going. Caserio has learned from a master, has the ultimate process, and will scorch earth to find players, and that's where it'll be good for Houston.
2 things.
Yeah.
First of all, Caserio is going to know his place as it relates to Easterby.
Sure.
Caserio is going to let Easterby do his thing. It's possible to get a guy who allows you to still run the show who will be good at the job. What Easterby was trying to avoid was somebody who comes in and says, hey, you, get the hell out of here. All right? You're not part of the football operation. Go sell raffle tickets, right? Go have a bake sale. You have nothing to do with the football operation. If I see you around here again, I'm going to whip your ass. That's what Easterby wanted to avoid. The other side of it, Chris, look, you're talking like the Patriots have been experts when it comes to rounding up great players. I mean, look, the Texans need receivers. Well, here comes Nick Caserio from the team that doesn't know how to draft or develop a wide receiver. Is this a good fit right now with Deshaun Watson? There was that cryptic tweet from Deshaun Watson last night. Some things never change. And I'm thinking, hey, he should be happy. Nick Caserio is coming from New England. First of all, who from New England, especially on the executive level, has ever done anything in the NFL other than Thomas Dimitroff? And second, look at the recent history of drafting and developing young players. I don't know that I would have hired Nick Caserio.
But what the other stuff of the last 10, 12 years of just building a team that's the best in football every year after year after year, that doesn't count? I mean, I don't understand. We're just going to go one year and go.
It's been great for Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn.
Okay,
that's the thing.
All right,
just
John Robinson's executive
fly.
has been successful. Nick Saban's been successful. They're all a part of the tree. Yeah, there's been some failures. Brian Flores is kicking butt right now. I mean, so yes, I know there was failures. I get that.
He's getting ready for the playoffs right now.
Well, 10-6 and turned around and was in the Coach of the Year conversation.
Playoffs.
I think you drafted him last week in the Coach of the Year conversation. conversation.
When I thought they were going to make the playoffs.
Okay, but he's still there. But, okay, now, all right, yeah, I know it's not the greatest roster in New England this year. And New England's never been a team about building a team of superstars. That's not what they are. They decided to go the route of, for the most part, let's get a lot of good players and have incredible depth and versatility. So no matter what team we play, our genius coach will find the right formula within the versatility and the depth that we play to screw that team over instead of just going, we're going to make this unit awesome and unstoppable. And to that, yes, the draft hasn't been great, but damn, I don't know. I mean, you know, Gronkowski and Edelman and all the other free agent signings and Amendola have also been awesome, and the Chris Hogans of the world too, that way. So I understand what you're saying, but I think you can't judge Nick Caserio just off of this last year and, you know, 1 year of football when they've made 9 million great moves throughout that time and just forget about that.
He was the director of player personnel when they drafted Aaron Hernandez. That's a different story altogether. So, look, there's always going to be swings and misses. There's always going to be good things and bad things that you can point to. And the one challenge, I think, for anyone who's been in that crock pot with Bill Belichick for that much time, when you leave, how much of you, genuinely you, is what emerges, and how much of you have been changed, even if you don't realize it, by constant exposure to Bill Belichick? Because there are negative aspects of the Bill Belichick persona that can creep into you. The socially awkward curmudgeon, right? How much of that has infected the way that Nick Caserio interacts with the world? That's what's going to be interesting, because some come out intact.
Sure.
Others come out completely DNA altered to be like Bill Belichick when they weren't and they shouldn't be, and it's only going to work for you if you win. And I don't have any reason to believe Caserio is going to be that way, but he was there a long time.
Yeah.
Right? He was there a long time.
No,
so we'll see.
You're right. You're right. We'll see. He is of that mold. He is a semi-curmudgeon, but I mean that in a good way, of the fact that it's ball all day long. That's what he does. Football, 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 football. He's not going to be about charming your pants off or being Johnny Charisma or doing anything like that. But he's going to be honest, very straightforward, no BS. He's going to lay out what he sees as a vision for the football team. That's where it'll be good too. And I'll say this, Mike, just in my experience there, just to show you a little bit, because, yeah, of course he's going to take a lot of what he had for Belichick. But I can just say, like, the 2 drafts I witnessed, I don't think he necessarily agreed with every draft pick Belichick made. I don't think so.
You were locked in a closet.
No, I was locked in a closet that was right outside the draft room. So I got to see who was walking in and out of that room and when they were happy or not happy. And I know we made a few picks that day where I went, Nick Caserio walked out and shook his head. Like, I don't know if I like that pick either way. So he's going to have a mind of his own, too. It won't be just like, you know, copy everything Bill Belichick did.
One last point before we take a break. Keep your eyes now on Brian Daboll as the next coach of the Houston Texans. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
No, but it makes sense.
That's the one to watch moving forward. We're going to take a break.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.